This mixer is 360 cubic foot with the augers in it. That's your mixing capacity. This thing weighs 11,150 pounds, so it's not light. There's a lot of things in here that you can that is built heavy that you can't see, such as the inside of the tubes, the inside of the channels on the trailers. You can only go so big because that feed has to have a place to rise and fall in the back. It rises here, falls in the back there in those kickers. And so you have to have a place for this feed to come up here and then go back and then fall back down. This is where you get your mix. It's a belching circle 8 pattern is how these things mix. So yeah, that's the reason why we build all different sizes of mixers. The general rule of thumb with these running your tractor rated 540 or 1000, I like to see is after your last ingredient, whether it's 2 pounds of salt or a high powered mineral, I like to see at least 4 minutes mixing time, and then it's ready to feed. With LuckNow, what we do, we try to match our flighting matches our tubes. Each tube is on a stub shaft right there, so you can pull the tubes out without taking any of the chains and sprockets and the bearings and stuff off in the back. We also got kickers up here to kick the feed back down into the augers themselves as it's coming back like this here. Some of the other ones will just have reverse flighting. They won't have kickers down here. Also up front, we can put, with this one here hasn't got it, but we can put an extra set of kickers on it for a high roughage ration. This will get the feed out quicker to the discharge. See, this has got 4 kickers on it. And it's also got 3 kickers on the other side, on the other auger to kick it to this auger over here. This is the reason why that your bottom, when you have a 4 auger machine like this, that most all of your wear will come in on your left hand auger, because it's taking all of the feed, trying to push, both of them is trying to push back, but when you're delivering it, all the feed's coming over to it. We have what we call a 1/2 inch bottom, and the 1/2 inch bottom is 2 1/4 inch plates that's fused together. Now most all of your mixers on the market today will have 1/4 or 3/8 bottoms. And if you'll take a look, get a close-up of this piece of steel goes clear around like that, and this comes clear up our sides. For most of your mixers, the bottom will end in this position right in here.
So in other words, you're still getting some wear up in here.
Yeah.
And then when they wear out, then you're having to replace the whole thing. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another reason why we do that is because, bring them clear up the sides, is because there's just as much wear up here in between the top and the bottom auger as there is down here just with the bottom auger. There's a lot of wear in here on all of your auger mixers. Because all of your auger mixers on the market today, we all mix the same. The bottom auger brings the particles forward, the top one takes it back. And when it reaches the discharge, which on the other side is about right in here, you've got a piece of reverse flighting in front that brings the feed back toward the center of the wagon, and it, for lack of a better term, it belches it up. And that's where your boil point is in this area here. This is your boil point. That's where those top augers catch that feed and take it to the back. Yes, sir.
So when something wears out on this, will this eventually wear out?
Sure it will.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Just put plastic in? Or
No. You just put another piece of 1/4 inch.
Just lay it in there.
Just lay it in,
weld it in.
And you do not have to put a whole new piece in these mixers. You can put just a piece like this, or you can put a piece this size. You don't have to get a whole new sheet put in.
Okay. Because normally the wear is right in this
Mostly
area
the wear is right in the front of your mixer.
Okay.
Because that's where every ounce of the feed comes around. And then on your auger mixers, usually your right hand or left hand auger is going to give you more wear than what the right hand does, because the right hand is shoving everything to their left hand all the time. Okay. All right. This is a 360 cubic foot mixer, so it is not a big mixer. This is a small mixer. We make 2 sizes smaller than this one here, and that's it. We make quite a few bigger, but this is next to the smallest one we make. And if you'll take a look at the size of the chains and the sprockets that's in this mixer compared to some of the rest of them that is on the market today.
What size chain do you use here?
100, we use 80 and 100 chain in the back. If you'll take a look at the reason why for this, here what we did was reverse the top augers, so when you are mixing, both augers is throwing the feed toward the center. Now the reason for that is because that you have seen some other auger mixers that the augers will either, both of the top augers will be turning to the right or turning to the left. Therefore you will get boil over, what we call boil over to the at the top of the mixer. We go with the augers turning in.
So
like
it's always
going
down
to the center.
Okay.
Always bringing it down to the center.
Okay.
It's standard bearings, standard shafts, everything is standard in the mixer.
Talk about the wear life of that reverser up top there.
The wear life here, because it is running in oil, and that reversing system has been out for about 11 years now, and we've never replaced that top yet. Now this is what kind of mechanism that we have to oil the chains, because there's not a lot of speed back here. So if you'll take a good hard look at this, what this does is catch the oil dripping off of here, drips off of here, comes down, and that's what oils that chain. We got the same mechanism, same thing in that.
I'll be darned.
That's planetary gear drive. What that does is reverse the, takes the 540 down to about 10 RPMs per minute, running rated 540 on your tractor. The bottom augers is turned about 10 RPMs per minute. The top ones is turned about 6 to 8 RPMs per minute. We put our grease zerks on the outside. You don't, there is, on the other side too, everything is greased from the outside. You don't.
These are the inner bearings in here.
Inner bearings on the inside of the mixer. Yes.
So they're
There's
greased
2
right
on
here.
each side back here, and then there's quite a few up front. This is a 4-foot discharge. Our regular discharge is 3 foot. But I like the 4-foot discharge for the simple fact of people feeding into big tires, and also you don't have, in muddy conditions inside bunks, you don't have to drive so close to the bunk. You've got some wiggle room so that you can go back and forth and still get the feed in the center of the bunk. Most all your mixers will have a magnet like that. This is a manual spout. We have it so you can run this spout hydraulically also. Now the things that is run hydraulically on this mixer is we got the hydraulic raise and lower with presets. This is your preset, 1 on each side. Some of the other mixers just preset it from one side. They will only have a cylinder on one side. After a period of time, your discharge will start to lean to the opposite side of the cylinder. You'll start to kind of spring to one side. This is the size of the cleanouts. And there's the same size in back there by the planetary gear drive. You got 2 back there and you got 2 here. Look at the door. We got a big door on these mixers. Okay, this is our grease zerks for the bearings. It has 4 bearings, 2 on each shaft, on each auger shaft inside the mixer, inside the discharge. And these bearings set on the outside back here, and there's 2 bearings.
Okay.
Here's our grease zerks for all the bearings that's outside here.
So what you're saying on this double bearing in here, this keeps that auger from bouncing up and down.
Because of a lot of wear, and also when you put them on the back side, like this here, you are getting silage juice and acid from
the
haylage and stuff like that into those bearings.
Okay.
So they're all on the outside back underneath here.
Okay.
Now something else that we have is this big heavy jack.
I see that.
It's not a boat trailer jack.
Big and heavy duty.
We've also got adjustable tongue on it, so you can adjust the tongue up and down, because as with any mixer that's on the market today, these mixers need to be level when you're mixing. Another thing that we have that a lot of your mixers in the smaller categories do not have is 4-point scale system. There's 1 right there on each side and then 2 in the back.
Yeah, right here. Right here's the weigh bars on this. So there's 2 in the front and 2 in the back now. Gives you a more uniform.
It doesn't. It's no more accurate than a 3-point.
Okay.
It just the scales will stay steadier whenever you're going down the bunk. Now, also with your scale system, we'll offer several different categories of scales. We've got scales that'll even download into a computer, so it's just basically whatever the customer wants. This is our standard scale system. This gives you the big numbers, so that whenever you're loading and hay dust or something like that with sun shining on it, and you're loading, you can still see the numbers. They're a green background number. Yeah. We use 385s or 425 super single tires on all of our mixers. This size. The bigger mixers will put 425s on them.
This is the same tire you're using on semis.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a very easy replaceable tire.
Okay.
And besides that, it's not a split rim. It's a single rim tire.
Okay. And what's some of the disadvantages of a vertical machine versus a horizontal unit like this?
If the stems that's going into your mixer is 6 inches or shorter, you do not need a vertical mixer. Whenever those stems get longer than that, yeah. Because what happens is that you'll dump some long stem in any of these auger mixers. I don't care what kind it is. What happens is this notch is bringing the feed, catches the hay, and brings it here, and you've got a pinch point. This is the bottom of the mixer, and this is the bottom of your flighting. This hay, if it's got a little bit of moisture in it, gets caught in here, and you won't take out a pin in a drive shaft. What you will do is break a bearing, or you break a chain in the back. Now with us, we got a slip clutch, so what you will do is slip that clutch. In all of our horizontal mixers, you got slip clutches. Another thing on a vertical mixer is that, yeah, we got chains and sprockets in back, but for what one gearbox costs in a vertical mixer, you can replace those chains and sprockets quite a few times in the back of this mixer. Because those gearboxes, and as you guys know, that we do make a real heavy duty vertical mixer. We go clear up to 1,100 cubic foot. But one gearbox is $6,000.
Explain why a farmer would want a horizontal versus a vertical. Possibly.
Some feedlots, if you take feedlots has been, the vertical market has been trying to get into feedlots. Feedlots just does not like them because they are slower. That's one reason that they're slower. If your hay is tub ground already in the feedlot, then no, a vertical will do just like a horizontal.
Okay.
So, but you're killing the purpose of the.
You're spending a lot more money
on the chopping action. Yeah.
Okay.
And you got more wear points too because of the knives and so on down the line. You got more knives. So like I said, I get right back to the 6-inch scenario. If your stems is over 6 inches, don't put them in it. Get a vertical. If they're underneath it,
Put them in.
put them in.
Okay.